Okay, tell me if this sounds familiar to you. You have perfected your skincare routine. You're using all the good stuff. You've got the retinols, the vitamin C, the hyaluronic acids. You're doing all the right things. And yet your skin just looks dull, saggy, and honestly, just kind of off. Any of this sounds like you, I want to let you know you are not alone and you're not doing anything wrong. The problem is it's your hormones. And today I'm going to be diving into exactly why that's happening and what you can do so that you're looking and feeling your best. Hello, gorgeous girl. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Tracy. I'm 50 years old. I am tired. I am a mom to a 5-year-old. I have been in menopause for 2 years myself. And so I know how frustrating it can be. And especially since I'm in what my doctor calls the Wild West of menopause, those first 5 years, I know how weird it can all feel and how things can start changing rapidly. But not to worry, my sweet, gorgeous friend, I have got you covered. We're really gonna be diving into exactly why your skincare routine isn't working anymore and what you can do about it to start remedying those weird symptoms right now. So I'm gonna start off with a little bit of good news. So it's not your products that are likely failing you. You've probably invested your time into research, your money into getting the right products, and you feel like, all right, I've got a good plan going. It's not the product's fault, it's actually your hormones. And one thing I can tell you for sure is if we don't really know what's happening with our bodies, we're gonna end up wasting time, wasting money, and feeling dissatisfied with skincare that's just never gonna work the way that we really want it to. Okay, so menopausal skin, in my opinion, is kind of like a gang of bad 7 dwarfs. We've got saggy, we've got jowly, we've got itchy, we've got crepey, we've got wrinkly, we've got rough, and we've even got gray. So there is one thing that is making your skincare routine basically useless, and that is estrogen. Now, I know, before we even dive in, you might think hormones, this sounds so boring, but here's the deal, my friend. You really gotta know your body, and especially if you're in perimenopause and during menopause, stuff starts happening really fast, it gets really weird, and the worst part is it kind of feels like a lot of this stuff happens like overnight. So we gotta understand what's happening so that we can get on the other side and fix it. So listen, if you care about your skin, you have got to start caring about estrogen. So here's the deal when it comes to estrogen and your skin. It's kind of like your skin's own personal trainer, hydration coach, and collagen bank all in one. It keeps your skin firm and bouncy by stimulating collagen and elastic production. It helps your skin hold on to moisture naturally so it stays hydrated and plump. It keeps your blood flow strong, giving you that glow, and it strengthens your skin's barrier, making it more resilient and less sensitive. So everything is working really great, you're feeling good, and then all of a sudden during perimenopause, and don't even get me started about menopause, your estrogen levels tank, kind of like a rock. It's gonna start happening slowly. Probably you're not even gonna really notice it much when you're in perimenopause. But my friends, if you're a menopausal, or if you like saying postmenopausal, I don't like saying that because it's not like we're done. It happens, and it happens fast, and this shiz is real. Now, I'm not here to scare you, but I think it is really important to be armed with the knowledge of what's actually happening to your body, and specifically your skin, when you're in this period and your estrogen is dropping. So your collagen production takes a nosedive, specifically in your first 5 years of menopause, which is exactly where I am right now, up to 30%. Think about that. 30% in your first 5 years when you're menopausal. And raise your hand if you've experienced this. Your skin feels like it just can't hold on to moisture no matter how much moisturizer you put on. I remember when this started happening to me, I was like, my skin was never dry. I don't understand this. It's super weird, and it just happens. Then your jawline starts also losing structure, which none of us want, right? We all want that sharp edge, right? But this happens because our fat shifts in our face and it kind of just starts dragging down our face, making our jawline softer and sort of giving us that more jowly look, which none of us want. And can we talk about the pores? What the heck Is it about the pores? Suddenly you go from like looking good, having tight skin, and then all of a sudden it's like you could hide a quarter in those pores. They get larger, they get stretched out, and they become so much more noticeable. I remember when this happened to me in my early 40s, and I was like, what is happening in here? And one of the weirdest things that can start happening when your estrogen levels start dropping is your skin can almost take on this more grayish hue, which is so weird, so off-putting, but it's because your blood flow has actually slowed down. And without having that circulation and blood flow to our skin, we start getting that duller, almost kind of gray look. Yuck. Now here's the worst part. Most skincare, it's actually not really made to tackle this. I am a skincare junkie. I like trying all the things, and obviously I like taking really good care of myself. I eat healthy, I exercise, I do all the right things. I have been on HRT myself for over 2 years, and even still, I've noticed especially some of that firmness and elasticity. I started noticing that in the last 6 to 8 months. And for me, I was like, oh, no, girlfriend, we're not getting a lower facelift. So I knew I had to start making some changes. And I wanted to start addressing specifically what my skin was missing at a hormonal level. MIDI is a virtual care clinic that specializes in perimenopause and menopause care, which, let's be honest, most doctors aren't even willing to touch. And the best part about MIDI is it's all online, they accept insurance, and you're finally gonna feel heard. So I had a virtual visit with my MIDI clinician, and I was telling her all about my skin changes and how I was feeling like, even though I felt like I was doing all the right things, I was noticing changes in my skin that I just wasn't happy with. And she explained to me how estrogen loss was actually what was causing those changes for me. So one of the things that she recommended for me, and I am so glad that she did, because I've been hearing about it a lot, and I'm that kind of girl that I want to try all the things, and that's the Estriol Plus Face Cream. I feel like every woman, if you're over 40, you have been hearing the word on the street and in social media, how much topical estrogen can really help with your skin and your skin's condition. So there's 3 key ingredients in the Estriol Plus Face Cream. It's got estriol, which is a form of estrogen, and that helps to restore collagen, plump the skin, and smooth fine lines. It's got hyaluronic acid, which, as you probably know, it locks in moisture. And it has DMAE, which helps to tighten and brighten. And those are all things that I definitely want for my skin. So I've been applying it specifically to my jawline and my lower face, my neck, and even the backs of my hand, because I don't have to tell you, our hands age really fast, and this is something I've struggled with for years. What I love about it is it's not just another cream. It's actually targeting the hormonal changes that are happening directly on my skin to help address them at the surface level. So if you've been struggling with sudden skin changes, and I'm telling you, it can happen overnight, you'll definitely want to check out MIDI. I'll put a link below in the description box for you. If you don't know where that is, right underneath my head, there's the title of today's video. Click on more, and then if you're on mobile, you'll tap on more again, and everything will be listed there for you. So you can check out MIDI, book a visit, and see if it's right for you too. I just started using the Estriol Plus Face Cream, so I don't have a full report on it, but definitely let me know in the comments if you want me to report back after. I think for something prescription like this, you probably want to give it a good month and a half to even 2 months to really know how well it's working. But I can tell you immediately from what I've heard of this is really, really effective, and it really helps at that surface level, which I love. Now, aside from everything that I've already mentioned, there are some really unexpected things that can happen to your face, and these are not fun, but I'm telling you that there are things that you can do to help support them so that these changes aren't uncomfortable and don't make you feel less confident than you should. Your lips start shrinking. Yeah, I'm being totally serious. My lips used to be even bigger when I was younger, and I hate that I can see that the definition and even the outline of my lips has changed so much. It's kind of like my lip is just kind of fading into the rest of my face, and I don't love it. Now, that volume loss is a result of, you guessed it, estrogen declining and also your collagen loss. And don't even get me started about the dry, crusty lips. My lips sometimes get so dry, it's almost like I feel like I have a sunburn on my lips. In fact, my dermatologist was like, "Did you go skiing recently?" I was like, "No, girl, no, I haven't. I'm just 50. So if you're struggling with fine lines, feeling like your lips are just dissolving into your face, and you just are noticing that volume loss, there's a few things you can do. Number one, use a topical exfoliant. I have a little scrub that I love using. It's totally organic, it's natural, and I'm telling you, it's also really effective. Other lip scrubs I've tried before, they really don't seem to make that much of a difference, but this one, for whatever reason, it does, and I exfoliate my lips. Then you want to put on something really soothing and hydrating, something specifically that has hyaluronic acid. I actually even have a chapstick randomly that I bought in Italy that's rich in hyaluronic acid. Jouer has a really nice thick lip balm that's great, that's rich in hyaluronic acid. So there's tons and tons of products on the market, but you want to do something like that. But then what I also like to do is kind of like, gild the lily a little bit at night, is I'll put a little castor oil on top of that hyaluronic acid. So I've scrubbed, I did my hyaluronic acid, and then I'll put the castor oil on my lips. And when I have the crust, as I like to call it, it gets rid of it and it makes my lips feel fuller. I'm getting some circulation even from the exfoliation, and it just helps to plump and seal in that moisture in my lips so that they feel more like me. Now here's a super weird one that started happening to me, again, probably around my mid-40s. I started noticing all these bruises, so much so that my husband was like, what's going on? Like every time I look at you, you've got a new bruise. And this is a result of our hormones. So estrogen helps to keep your capillaries strong. And when it starts dropping, then your skin in general, it just gets way more fragile. So when you just bump into a drawer or something, you're gonna find that you'll have a bruise on your thigh or on your arm or wherever you hit, even if it wasn't that hard. Super annoying, right? So something great that you should just have in your bathroom counter is some arnica cream. Arnica is a homeopathic remedy that's great for bruising. In fact, when people get surgeries or get like lip injections or any kind of injections, a lot of times they'll say, like, if you tend to bruise, massage in a little bit of arnica cream. I've also heard, and don't quote me on this because I don't know if this is true, but I've seen on TikTok a lot of people are saying that can help with your forehead wrinkles, arnica. I haven't personally tried it myself, but you could try it on. I mean, it's probably not gonna hurt you. But for bruising, this I know for sure. It helps with bruising, it helps with swelling. So you definitely wanna have this in your counter, especially at this stage of your life. So let's talk about that gray look. This happens because our circulation starts to slow down, and none of us want this, right? So you do not have to accept having a gray face. What I would suggest that you do is do a little bit of face massage. Maybe you like using a gua sha tool. You can find tons of tutorials here on YouTube or all over social media. Or if you're a person like me who's a little bit lazy, I don't use a gua sha tool, I just use my hands. And I will just massage a face oil to take off my makeup at the end of the day. And as I'm doing that, I'm bringing in circulation in my face. I'm taking all the makeup off. It helps me to be less puffy. It brings more circulation and blood flow into my skin. And it's gonna help to alleviate that gray and dull look that none of us want. So if you're starting to notice that really annoying side effect of estrogen dropping, of your pores getting larger, let me tell you, I have been there and it is frustrating, but there are certain ingredients that really can help to shrink those pores. Niacinamide is a great ingredient that can help to actually shrink your pores, and also that ingredient that we love that's in the Estriol Plus cream, the DMAE. That can help to really shrink those pores down so that you don't have that kind of, just quite honestly, older looking skin, which none of us want. Now, this is one of the weirdest symptoms of estrogen dropping, is having that itchy skin, but it's not dry. So your skin doesn't feel dry, but you're like, I've got like itches that I can't help and I wanna scratch them, but like it doesn't satisfy the itch. If you know, you know. I will never ever forget this. I remember when I was probably in my early 30s and I was teaching at my Pilates studio in New York, and I had a client, and literally through the entire class, she was about 48, and she was like, I'm just so itchy, I can't stop itching. And she was like, it's menopause. I'm in perimenopause and my skin is just so itchy. And it just like seared a memory into my brain forever. So again, this is estrogen's fault, and when it drops, it makes you more sensitive to histamines. And you can even develop new sensitivities that you might never have had before. Now, the solution here, of course, is to just be really gentle with your skin. Use products that are moisturizing, making sure that you're not using harsh ingredients that are stripping that moisture from your skin. And then, of course, using ceramide-rich lotions or creams or even body oils that can really help. One that I love using that's completely natural is castor oil. When my skin is still a little bit damp, I just kind of like pat myself off. I'll put castor oil all over my skin, and it really, really helps. About a year or two ago, I started noticing I was getting those like weird bumps on the back of my arm. It was really bizarre. I didn't know what was going on. I noticed I don't have those anymore, and I think it's because I started incorporating castor oil into my skincare routine. I don't do it every day, to be quite honest. My skin is not that dry, and luckily for me, I don't really suffer so much with like body skin itch and all of those things, but I do think a result of it is because I do use the castor oil a couple times a week, or just kind of as needed if I come out and I feel a little bit parched. So definitely try it on for size if you haven't already. So let me just tell you, aging is a privilege, it is a gift. Today is the youngest that any of us will be. And with aging does come some of these weird symptoms. But here's the deal. It's not your skincare's fault. It's actually completely normal, and it's a result of your hormones. And one thing that I know for sure is once we know what's happening with our body, we can make more informed decisions and really make choices that are going to help support our body in whatever age and whatever stage of life that we are in right now. So I really hope that this video was helpful for you. Let's get active in the comments. Let me know which tip you're going to start implementing. And if I missed something, definitely let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I will give you a full report of my feelings with the Estriol Plus cream. And let me know in the comments if that's a video that you want to see. I'm really excited to see the results because I've heard such amazing, amazing things about it. And if you want to keep hanging with me here on YouTube, make sure to check out this video next, and I'll see you there.